Now, Maliki madhab is the only madhab which considers menstruation can happen during pregnancy. So they have a fiqh for that as well. Shall we touch on that? A little bit, maybe it's good for you making notes. So they say if a pregnant woman, all right, if she's 2 months pregnant, okay, and she sees bleeding from 2 months onwards, if she sees bleeding, that's considered menstruation, but that has a limit of maximum 20 days. And once she reaches 6 months, any bleeding she sees will be considered menstruation for the maximum of 30 days. So that menstruation lasts longer than normal. But normal, the other madhahib, they don't have such concept. All right. When we talk about menstruation, some women, they don't really have a habit of bleeding. Habits is ruined. Okay. This goes in a lot of details. She knew what her habit was. All right, but now it's broken. So she was bleeding for, let's say, 6 days every month. But one day, now she has 2 days on, 3 days off, 2 days on, 3 days off, 4 days on, 5 days off. Her cycle is ruined. Meaning she's not bleeding as she used to be. That woman is called mukhtalita. Mukhtalita. She has different rulings. Normally, if someone adheres to the Maliki madhab and finds herself being in the situation of mukhtalita, she should contact a Maliki scholar, because these masail, they are in general, obviously it depends on person to person. Let's say a person bleeds 3 days on, then 3 days off, then on 3 days on, and then 3 days off, then 4 days on, and then she stops. But her habits was 7 days. Okay, her habit was 7 days, so that means her maximum menstruation can be 10 days. Add 3 days on top. Yeah. So what they say, she's bleeding for 3 days, she stops, she takes ghusl, she starts praying, fasting, all right, and then when she starts bleeding again after 3 days, for example, that's considered menstruation. She adds on to the previous 3 days. Now that's considered 4th, 5th, 6th day. Then she cleans again, she takes ghusl, and then she waits for the next one, and then until she makes it up to the maximum 10 days. Okay. Now once she's done that, she's in tuhur, because her days of tuhur, because she has had her maximum menstruation, but her days of tuhur have to be consecutive for 15 days. If she had 15 days of clean period, then she will start a new hayd, and she will start the same counting again. I personally, if someone, let's say someone had habit of bleeding 6 days, she bled 4 days, and then she bled 2 days after 13 days of clean period. What's the maximum tuhur between hayd? It's 15 days. Well, minimum tuhur. So that means that 13 days gap is linked to the previous one. So that 2 days extra bleeding would be considered linked with the other one. But it's very difficult. I think for our stage, what we are learning, this is not what we should be going on. But I think it is worth mentioning. So when you do get a situation like that, you know that the method exists in the Maliki madhab, and those who are expert in the madhab will be able to guide you when you get to that stage. But this only exists in the Maliki madhab. Okay, this is called, I believe it's called talfiq, when they have the clean days and then menstruation and then clean days and then they count them, and the scenarios are impossible to cover. There are so many different scenarios can happen in terms of how many days on, how many days off, and how many days you count as tuhur or not. So the Hanafi madhab is a piece of cake compared to that. Yeah. So I would say, if anyone wanted to understand the Maliki madhab and was going through these issues and they wanted to adhere to Maliki madhab, they must contact a Maliki scholar who understand. Especially I find the menstruation subject in the Maliki madhab is very difficult. It's for someone who spends a lot of time in it. Maybe there are people who find it easy, but not me. Allah.